Thank you. Well, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump and Michael Jackson, just some of the names that have been revealed in secret court documents from Virginia Giuffre's lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, the previously redacted names include identities of around 150 associates of sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. The names included on the list do not indicate any wrongdoing or carry any allegation of complicity in Epstein's crimes. Joining me now is high-profile US Attorney Gloria Allred, who represents 20 of Epstein's victims. Gloria, a big thank you for your time this morning. Many of these names, of course, were already known in connection with Jeffrey Epstein. Can you give us a sense of the significance of having them released in this way?
Yes, it is significant that they're released, and they're released because Virginia Roberts, formerly Virginia Giuffre, filed a lawsuit, a civil defamation lawsuit against Ghislaine Maxwell. And as part of the litigation in that lawsuit, she named the witnesses and in some cases, some alleged victims of Mr. Epstein that would be called at trial. Of course, there was no trial because she settled the lawsuit. And one of the Miami newspapers then sought to have the names released that had been previously redacted or under seal and were not released, and the judge agreed to do so. I'm very appreciative of the fact that the judge in the case was very sensitive to the victims and said that she would not release the names of any underage victims of sex trafficking of Jeffrey Epstein, and she did not. And as to adult victims of adult sexual abuse of Jeffrey Epstein, those accusers had an opportunity to object and have her consider their objections before she made a decision as to whether she would release the adults' names. So I do think that we did know that former President Trump knew Jeffrey Epstein, that President Clinton also traveled on his plane, I think on at least 4 occasions. Both of the former presidents, of course, deny doing anything inappropriate, however. My clients, the victims, they just want the truth, they want accountability, and they want as much justice as is possible under the circumstances.
Well, you've been tireless, Gloria, in your support of those victims. You vowed, I think it was in 2019, to track down anyone who had been an Epstein co-conspirator. How many more do you think are still walking free today?
I couldn't hear your question, but how many more are what?
How many more of Epstein's co-conspirators, I guess people who help recruit the girls here, are still walking free today?
Yes, and that's important, and we really don't know the answer to that question. I will say that even though the names are, many names are listed as potential witnesses, and I don't know if she was alleging that any of them were co-conspirators. There are others who certainly sexually abused some of the victims. And there is, however, only one prosecution that took place to the extent that it was tried, and that was of Ms. Maxwell. Now, Ms. Maxwell's attorney is complaining that a lot of women were abused, but she's the only woman that got prosecuted and went to prison for it, which, given that powerful men are, there are many accusations against the powerful men who knew Jeffrey Epstein. But the truth is she's not the only one who was prosecuted. Jeffrey Epstein was also prosecuted, but unfortunately, he committed suicide, and so he never went to trial.
Okay, well, US Attorney Gloria Allred, really grateful for your time on Sunrise this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's Mon.